Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego with my beautiful wife, Karina from Venezuela. It's time for another exciting live stream here in the office of Diego and Karina. This is the YouTube K1 Visa Green Card office where I give you all this free advice on these live streams, and I'm helping you get your green cards and your K1 visas without all this added extra stress, without having to pay an immigration attorney $5,000 or $6,000. Don't do that. The process is very easy. It's not hard to do. If you can read and write, if you can add and subtract, you can fill out a freaking paperwork for a green card or a K1 visa application. It's not difficult. Now, I've got the Mega Pixie Dust for everybody who needs Mega Pixie Dust, and I've got some Diet Mountain Dew. That's pretty good Mountain Dew right there for the Mountain Dew salutes. And we have Terrence Tambibo. Hello, Diego and Karina. Terrence, what's going on, Terrence? Welcome aboard. Welcome onto the channel to say whatever it is you want to say. What do you want? What have you got for us? Hopefully, you got lots of questions. Now, don't stress this process, okay? Francois Livingston, and she has her membership star showing up alongside her name. Good evening, Diego and Karina. Happy Monday. Happy Monday, Francois. Now, Francois is a member of this channel. Welcome to the membership part of it. Whereupon, now, Francois, she has my cell phone number. She's got my email address, and she can text me. She can call me, she can email me, and I will be personally helping her finishing up her green card for Hamid. Now, Hamid's from Morocco, and he was in the United Arab Emirates, and then Francois flew all the way to the UAE and went to the scary visa interview with Hamid, and then brought him to upstate New York. Now, in upstate New York, I'm sure it is cold and snowy, and the governor of New York is still being a stupid person as normal. She's your typical socialist, trying to give all these illegal immigrants all these free stuff, all these handouts. And President Trump is stopping it. He's putting his foot down. He says, no, Americans are no longer going to pay for illegal immigrants. Americans are going to be paying their taxes to help Americans and legal permanent residents. Like Karina's a legal permanent resident. She has her green card. She went to the K1 visa process and she went to her scary visa interview at the embassy in Bogota, Colombia. Terrence, just want to say we are now in the United States, in Las Vegas. We arrived last week Terrence, welcome to Las Vegas, which I think is Clark County. Las Vegas, welcome to Las Vegas, Terrence. And while you're in Las Vegas, living, don't get in trouble with all the gambling stuff. Don't be playing those slot machines because you're going to be putting more money in than you're going to get out. Okay? And in the summer in Las Vegas, it gets pretty darn hot. It's very hot in Las Vegas in the summertime. So be ready for a hot summer. Okay? So if it gets to be too hot, jump in your car and drive over to Mount Charleston in Peru, where it cools down a little bit, okay? Or go up to Ely in Nevada or somewhere like Reno, where it's a little further north and won't be so warm. But Las Vegas is a fantastic place. I've been there a few times. Maybe I should take Karina to Las Vegas. Who knows? Maybe we'll take her there. If I take her there, then, we'll see what happens. We'll definitely be making some videos. But Terrence, welcome. You're in Las Vegas, which is Clark County. And if you get a chance, go to Pahrump, Nevada, which is about an hour west of you, and go check out Pahrump. It's a quiet little town. And Art Bell is buried there in the Grandview Cemetery. He's a very famous radio host. He created Coast to Coast. And now George Noory is in charge of it. And Terrence, I'm not a slot machine person. Well, that's good. Playing slot machines is like just throwing money in the toilet, just my opinion. Although some people do win. Okay, I'm not saying you don't win. You could win. You could win $1 million. Who knows? But if you win $1 million, then you got to pay tax on it. Then you got to claim it as income and all that other jazz. So you end up with about 700,000. Francois, Hamid and I are super grateful for your guidance. It's no problem, Francois. Not going to bother you with texting. I wanted to continue supporting this awesome channel. Well, thank you. Plus, I wanted to be able to watch your videos. Yeah, there are videos that are out there that I've made for the channel members only. Okay, so if you are a channel member, you get to see a whole bunch of videos that non-channel members don't even know exist. They can't even see them. But that's okay. It's $9.99 a month if you want to be a member. It's not much money. If you want to be a member, it's $9.99 a month. You just sign up, and then you will have my phone number, my email address, and you can text me if you want to. I was helping one person yesterday. He was texting me lots of questions about his beneficiary, and his beneficiary is in Burundi, okay, which is in Africa. So with my 11 years of experience processing K1 visas and K1 green cards, I got 11 years of experience. I know that probably his fiance is going to have to go to Kenya, to Nairobi in Kenya for her K1 visa interview. If you live in Burundi, more than likely you're going to go to Kenya for the visa interview. So, it is what it is. But Francois, I can see that the membership star right next to your name right there. And we appreciate that. Terrence, just wanted to the good news. I will always get on your live when I'm free. Thanks so much for all the help and advice through the process. Terrence, that's why I'm here. I'm not an immigration attorney. I don't give you any legal advice, and I don't work for USCIS, although I probably should, because with as much knowledge as I have, I should probably be the head of USCIS. I could write a book on how to do a green card application or a K1 visa or a spousal visa or a tourist visa. I should write the book on it, and put it on Kindle or something. I don't know. But I'm glad we helped you, Terrence. The visa process, if you qualify, shouldn't be stressful. It's just you got to be patient, because immigration are real busy. It's not like a fast process. There's companies out there, they say that they can get your visa processed quickly and rapidly. It's all baloney, okay? There's no such thing as a fast visa. It doesn't exist. If you want to come to the United States on a K1 visa, okay, you met an American citizen and you want to get married, that's great. I will help you do it. I'll help you through the process. I want to get you here. Karina loves it. She got a good job. She's made lots of friends. She's got friends from Peru, from Puerto Rico, from the United States, and from Mexico. So she made a lot of friends already. But next month we're going on vacation. So for a week, what I'll probably do, I'll just make some videos while we're on vacation, so you got something to watch while we're on vacation. So you don't miss Karina, because she's not going to be here for a week. But when we come back from vacation, I'll make lots of videos for you guys, and then I'll make videos for the members only channel only too. So you get to see stuff behind the scenes that we were doing. Let me see. Vimy Lola. Hello, Diego. What's going on, Vimy? And Karina. Hello. How is Vimy? We hope you're doing well. We hope you're not stressing this process out. I don't know. I've lost count of all the people that I've helped. I helped one person get here from South Africa, or two. I helped two people. I helped a lady from South Africa, and I helped a gentleman from South Africa. And the gentleman from South Africa was in a spousal visa, and his wife, she worked for a major airline company. Now look at this. Check this out. This is the airplane that we flew on from Bogota to Miami, right here. See that? I don't know if you can see that, but that is the plane that we flew on from Bogota, Colombia to Miami, Florida. And I saw it and I had to get it. It wasn't very expensive, but I just had to have it. And so I went ahead and bought it. Krim didn't even know she didn't even know I had it. She goes, "What the heck is that?" I said, "That's the plane we flew on from Bogota, Colombia to Miami. That's Avianca Airlines." Right there. Ooh, look at that. Check it out. Let me see here. Vimy Lola, we are doing great. Good. And getting there. for the 8475 no, it's the page 12. When they ask your number for my baby, I check on his CRBA. I couldn't find his alien number. He doesn't have an alien number if he's a U.S. citizen. If you have a baby, Vimy, listen. If you have a baby that was born and you registered the baby at the U.S. Embassy, right? You did that, right? Tell me you did that. You registered the baby at the U.S. Embassy. The baby's not going to have an alien registration number because the baby's a U.S. citizen. How did the baby come to America? With a U.S. passport or with a foreign passport? Okay, your baby is a U.S. citizen. So we're going to give your baby a Mountain Dew salute for being a U.S. citizen. And I'm going to give Vimy a Mountain Dew salute for doing everything correctly in getting the child citizenship. And your baby doesn't have an alien registration number, so you're not going to be able to put it down. They're asking for the A number. The baby doesn't have an A number. Francois Livingston. So you just leave it blank, okay? Vimy, you leave that spot blank. It's NA, non-applicable. Put NA in there. You're welcome, Vimy. I'm always here. I'm saving everybody every day, right? Francois, Hamid's physical was sent to the U.S. in the mail, was sent to us in the mail, so we don't have to drive 2 hours to pick it up. The results, I don't know if I can open the envelope. Don't open the envelope. I don't know how the paperwork is inside, so don't open the envelope. Listen, Francois, you got Hamid's medical exam done. They mailed it to you in an envelope. Put that envelope into Hamid's green card application without opening nothing. 0. And we're going to put MAGA pixie dust all over Hamid's physical because we know he passed. Don't open the envelope, Francois, and get a document protector and put it in a document protector as you received it and let immigration open it. You got it, Francois, no problem. Vimy Lawler, thanks. Francois, do I leave the envelope the way it is? Yes, you do. Just like it is. And then what you need to do, though, Francois, is you need to identify on the cover sheet. You're putting a cover sheet together on this document, the medical exam. You need to put a little blurb in there that the doctor, the civil surgeon, mailed you the medical exam, and we are including it into the green card application as we received it in the mail without opening the letter. You got it? That covers you. Vimy Lawler, we're going to sign up for the membership on Wednesday. Well, we look forward to that, Vimy. Once you sign up as a member, it's only like $9.99 a month. I mean, that's how much it costs for a freaking stamp, right? Anyway, it's not very expensive. But we look forward to you signing up as a member because then you can see all of the videos that I've made that nobody else can see. Okay? And when Karina and I were going on vacation next month, in March 9th, we're going to leave on an airplane. Okay? It's not going to be on this airplane. This was the airplane we flew from Colombia to the United States on. This is the exact one. And it even says Colombia on the side of the plane. Look, I don't know if you can see that. It's hard. It's got to focus, but it even says Colombia. We're going on vacation, and I want to make tons of videos from the vacation. Francois Livingston, the cover sheet is pages long. Well, that's good. You want to overwhelm immigration with your green card application. When you apply for your green card, you overwhelm immigration. You put so much stuff in there that hopefully you don't have to have another interview. Although President Trump has made it pretty clear that he wants people to have visa interviews, okay? Consulate visa for the 2-year green cards and the 10-year green card, which is fine. So if Karina and I have to go to a scary visa interview, I don't care. We'll get in the car, we'll bring all our stuff with us, and we'll make a vacation out of it. So the cover sheet is pages long. Well, that's good news because that means you got a lot of stuff going into Hamid's green card. And then hopefully that you don't have to redo anything. Hoping not, but if we do, we will be there with bells on. Yeah, don't worry about it. You know, Karina and I got no big deal to me going into for a visa interview. I couldn't go to Karina's visa interview in Colombia because I was sick. Karina's interview was November 16th of 2023 at the U.S. Embassy in Bogota, Colombia, and I got mountain sickness that day, the day before actually. So I was in bed sick because I couldn't move. I had the flu, I had mountain sickness, and I was sick. So I couldn't go to her visa interview. But she went, she passed with everything. The Vimy Lola sponsor household size, he enters 1 as himself. Yeah. Immigrant that he's sponsoring, which is me, and he puts 1 as another one, which is not the sponsor. That's the baby. He puts 1. The household size is 3. That is 100% correct, Vimy. You have learned a lot from hanging out with us. So he's going to put 1, okay, as the sponsor. And then above that is going to be how many people were sponsored, which is 1. Because the baby wasn't sponsored, the baby came in on a U.S. passport. So the baby is just as a dependent, a U.S. dependent. So the family size is going to be 3. And that goes at the bottom. Now, if you're at the very bottom of there, I think it's on page 4, I remember, and there's a number 1 in there. You get some white out or some, an eraser tape and get rid of that 1 and handwrite 3 in there with black ink. Francois, not as nervous as the K1 visa interview. Yeah, the K1 visa interview is pretty scary, I mean, that's where they're really going to try to get you. Not get you, but to see if you qualify or not. But then the green card interview is basically a formality to make sure that you guys are still together, you know everything about each other, and it's another way for immigration to make some extra cash to pay for all this. Vimy Lola, I don't know what happens when we fill up. The household size automatic is 1. You can change it. Listen, look, watch this right here. Okay, you see what this is? Do you know what that is? That's called whiteout. So you get the whiteout and you cover up the 1, and then you get a pen. This is blue, but get a black pen and write 3, and then you do it. That's how you do it. Okay, that's how you do it. You got it? What happens is this. Immigration has automatically created a 1 in that paper on that page. Let's pull it out. Let's pull that page out. Okay. I know what you're talking about. Let's find it so you don't panic. Let's look it up. That's not it. That's not it. This is it right here. Okay, look. Let's see. Look at this. Look at this. Okay, right here on page 5 now, they've changed it to page 5. The family size is 1. You see that? Right there. It's automatically put in there. But this is what you do to fix that. Watch me. Watch Diego. You see that 1 right there? You see the 1? Look at that. Look. Now there's no 1. It went away. It's gone. It's a miracle. Where did it go? I erased it. So what do? Vimy, you get a black pen and you write in there number 3. Right up here is the number of people that were sponsored, which is 1. Right here, this is the sponsor. That is 2. And then you have a baby, which goes right here. If you have any dependent children, okay? So that goes here for your baby. The third one down. That's a 1 right there. 1 and 1 and 1 is 3. This is easy stuff, guys. I know immigration make it complicated, and I'm trying to decomplicate it for you so you don't get confused. But hopefully you understand that. Vimy, you got it? So I just gave you all that advice, right? I saved you $400. You didn't have to call an immigration attorney. Orlando Lopez, let's hope Diego hasn't fired people at USCIS. No, President Trump doesn't control USCIS. We pay for that process. When you pay a visa fee, when all these people, okay, now what Trump probably has done is downsize maybe the number of consular officers at the embassies. You know, you may have 50 consular officers working out of the U.S. Embassy in Australia, because Australia is a beautiful place. So Biden, you know, with maybe created all these different jobs for people so they could go hang out in Australia and get paid. Well, you maybe only need 5 consular officers in Australia, not 50. So if that's the case, Trump will remove and reassign the excess. But USCIS is funded by us. When somebody pays for a visa fee, a spousal fee, a green card, a work permit, a tourist, whatever, when you pay the fees, that money goes into a pot of money which basically funds immigration, USCIS. We fund it ourselves out of the visa fees. So if we're paying for it, Trump's not going to mess with it. Okay? But if you have consular officers around the world with their feet up on their desks, okay, working 2 hours a day, those people are probably going to be terminated. Vimy, got it? Okay, Francois, do you know the cost of the physical in the U.S.? Do you know the cost of the physical in the U.S. was $700 compared to almost $200 in Abu Dhabi? But in the USA, the civil surgeon ordered labs. Labs weren't done in the United Arab Emirates. That's interesting. Karina's medical exam in Bogota, Colombia, cost me $400, about $400. And then it was $25 for a vaccination. She was short of vaccination. When we got to America, I called up the civil surgeon in Pensacola, Florida, and he did the green card medical exam for Karina for $175. So it was cheaper for us here for the green card exam for the medical than it was for the physical in Colombia. That's okay. Whatever the price is irrelevant. What's important is getting this done. You're investing in the future of your family. Now remember, if you're bringing a K2 to the United States, so let's suppose you're bringing your wife, or let's suppose you get your fiance, and she's got 2 children. So that's 3 people that you're bringing to America. So you're going to pay 3 consular fees. You're going to fill out 3 DS-160s, but you're only going to schedule 1 interview for the family. Okay. Even though you got 3 people, you don't schedule 3 interviews. Okay. So if you got 3 people, you schedule 1 interview and you pay for 3 consular fees. I think it's $260. I think it is something like that per person. Okay. For medical exams, the price of the medical exam varies from different city to city in America. In Pensacola, it was $175. But in California, in Los Angeles, it could be $500. Depends where you live, you know. And if you live in Los Angeles, well, my condolences to you. I mean, you got to get a new governor, guys. The governor of California is a freaking joke. You got to get a new governor. You got to get rid of him. Francois, I know the cost is irrelevant, but it's interesting how things were done differently. Yeah, sure it is. Got to do what you got to do, make things happen. That's what I'm saying. So that's a Mountain Dew salute to Francois, because she's thinking like, you know, positively. She's positive. And if you maintain calm during the process, if you stay positive, if you don't rush the process, if you fill out the paperwork carefully, don't be in a big hurry. If you take your time, because most errors that people make are they don't sign the paperwork. They fill out this excellent I-129F. It's like 13 pages long. They do a fantastic job. They submit all the evidence, and they get in such a hurry that they run down to the FedEx or UPS store or DHL office, and they send it off to Louisville, Texas, but they didn't sign it. They forget to sign it because they're in such a big freaking hurry. Don't be in a big hurry, okay? Go slow, go through the paperwork, check it carefully. Don't be in a big hurry to mail it or FedEx it. And don't use the postal service to mail your green card application. Don't use the postal service to mail your K1 visa application. Use a FedEx or UPS store or DHL. And don't use your credit card to pay for your green card or for your K1 visa. Don't use your credit card. Write out a check to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. You write out a check like this. You cannot abbreviate this. U.S. Department of Homeland Security. This is who you make the check out to. Personal check for your green card or your K1 visa. And you write on the bottom left-hand corner of your check in the notes, this is for my green card or K1 visa. Okay? So your bank knows what the heck is going on. But when immigration get the check, they electronically scan it and they get paid right away. It's instantaneous. Immigration gets paid right away. It's amazing technology. I just don't want to get into details about it, but it's amazing technology. They get paid right away. But if you use your credit card and you fill out the paperwork for the credit card, 90% of the time your bank will block the transaction. They don't recognize it. Like, what the heck is this? $1,440 for what? What is this? So they'll put a block on it until they figure it out. What happens is the immigration don't get paid. And they're like, okay, send everything back, and they'll send all your stuff back to you with all this writing all over your paperwork, which you have to redo everything. Okay? Don't use a credit card to pay. Now, you can use the credit card to pay for the consular fee at the embassy because it's only $260, I believe it is. It's not much money, and it shows up as an embassy transaction. So your bank isn't going to block the charge. But something like a big number, like $1,440, that's a big number, the bank will stop it. And then you're up the creek without a paddle. Okay? Just take your time and don't be in a big hurry. Make sure when you fill out the paperwork, you're using the current edition of what you're supposed to use. Make sure you're using the right edition and there's no expiration. If you send in your K1 visa app, if you fill out your K1 visa paperwork a year in advance and you set it aside, okay, I got that part done, and then you make a couple of trips to go visit your beneficiary in the Philippines or wherever, in England or Australia or Uganda or Nigeria, Pakistan, wherever you go, and you say, and you got in the back of your head, okay, I got my I-129F filled out already. I don't have to worry about that. And a year passes, 9 months passes, and then you're getting ready to mail everything off to Louisville, Texas, and the form's expired already. The I-129F is expired. But because you're in such a freaking hurry, you filled it out a year ago just to get ahead of the game. You mail off your package, and it comes back denied because you submitted an expired form. When you file your I-129F application for your K1 visa, fill out the I-129F a week before you mail your stuff to Louisville, Texas, the week before. I came back from Colombia after 2 trips and 6 months with Karina. I went ahead then filled out the I-129F, and first thing I did was I checked the expiration date and I checked the edition date. Everything was good. Harold A. Hey, Harold, what's going on, Harold? How's everything? Now, Harold, are you in California? I don't know. I can't remember where you're located at. Where's everybody at? We're in Florida in the Panhandle. We're about, I don't know, a couple of hours from Pensacola. Okay? We're in the Panhandle of Florida. We're in Central Time. Now, if I was to drive on Interstate 10 for about 5 hours east, I would be in Tallahassee. Then I would be in Eastern Time. So Florida's a big place. Yeah, I'm in California, Sacramento. Harold, you're in Sacramento, the state capital. How do you like living in Sacramento? How is life in California? Is it still $8 for a gallon of gas? Here it's $2.77 for a gallon of gas. I hope things are getting better for you in California in regards to the economy. But Sacramento is the principal city of California. That's where the governor hangs out, right? If I remember my history of the United States. Now, as I was saying, when you fill out paperwork, make sure you're using the right form, the right edition. Don't be in a big hurry, and go over your K-1 visa application at least 10 times before you send it off to Louisville, Texas, and send it to the right address. There's two addresses where you can file your K-1 visa application. There's an address if you use the Postal Service, and there's an address if you use FedEx or DHL or UPS. Don't use the Postal Service, and make sure you use the right address, okay? If you file your K-1 visa to the wrong address, it's going to slow down the process for you probably by a month or two, because then immigration has to find where the right place to send it. Every little detail matters. Filling out the check properly, filling in the correct amount of money, signing the paperwork, not making mistakes on the paperwork, sending it to the right place, okay? Don't be in a hurry mode. My recommendation is you date your fiance. If you're working a K-1 visa right now, you want to date each other for at least a year, and get to know each other. Make at least 2-3 trips to go see your beneficiary. I know that can be very expensive if you are in the Philippines, but don't take any shortcuts. It's a 24-hour flight to the Philippines, right? Is it what, $3,000, $4,000 round trip? That's a lot of freaking money. But if you want to guarantee, you want to make sure you get your K-1 visa approved, you got to make at least 2 trips to go see your beneficiary. I don't care what country. Howard A., I sent the package to get the green card. So you filed the adjustment of status paperwork, but I forgot to include my taxes on my I-94. I forgot to include my taxes on your I-94. Your taxes on the I-94. The I-94 is your beneficiary's entry into the United States by the Border Patrol. And if you didn't include your taxes or the I-94, is it okay to make a correction for the affidavit of support? The affidavit of support is USCIS form I-864. USCIS form I-864. Okay, so let me write this down for you. So you didn't know, so there's no taxes included. Okay, that's going to create an RFE. All right. You said you forgot to include the I-94. I-94 is the Border Patrol. Border Patrol permission slip. Okay, that's your temporary green card, I guess you call it. If you don't include the I-94 in your green card application, you're going to get an RFE or an OID, notice of intent to deny. And you said you want to correct the affidavit of support, which is the I-864. Well, here's what I would do. Your green card application, I have no doubt in my mind, is going to be sent back to you all scribbled up and said, this is not good. They're going to ask you for whatever they're going to ask you. So if you forgot to include this stuff, your green card package is going to go straight back to you. Harold A., my wife had a biometrics, though. It's hard to make RFE. Harold A., biometrics is immigration checking to make sure that your wife does not have a criminal record since she got off the plane. Let's suppose somebody got off the plane in Atlanta, Georgia, although I don't recommend it, and the beneficiary says, I got my foreign driver's license, I've got my international driver's license, I want to drive. And the husband, the American citizen sponsor, doesn't know any better because he doesn't watch this channel, and says, okay, you can drive. And then the beneficiary, before they even get married, gets into a car wreck on the interstate in Atlanta and kills somebody. Okay, that's going to go to a police report. That's going to go to immigration. So then if that person goes to do a biometrics, it's going to show up that she committed a felony, and that person will be placed on an ICE on an ICE retainer hold and deported before they even got married. The biometrics is in place to check the beneficiary has not committed any crimes in the United States while she or he has been here for such a short period of time. But what you have done, Harold, is you've submitted a totally screwed up green card application. That's the only thing I can say. Okay? You got to include your last tax return. You got to include the I-94, and you have to fill out the I-864 correctly. Those three things right there are going to result in a request for further evidence, and they're going to send it all back. All that stuff's going to be sent back to you, and you're going to have to redo the whole thing. Okay? But I want to put some mega pixie dust on your green card application. I want to give you a Mountain Dew salute. You said here, they sent me a form, I-485. The I-485 is the paperwork to lift the conditions, to apply for the green card. The I-485 is 27 pages long, I think. Let me see here. The I-485 is right here, and I'm going to pull it out of here. This is the I-485. It's 24 pages long. The I-485 is the application to register permanent status to live in the United States permanently. So they sent you the form I-485. Why would they do that? That I forgot to send my tax form. They sent it all back to you. They sent your whole green card package back to you. They didn't send you a form I-485. That's 24 pages long. They sent you an RFE, which is 1 page long, with a letter explaining what the heck you did wrong, right? If you don't include taxes in your green card application, okay, number one, you won't get your green card. Number two, they're going to send all that stuff back to you, and they're going to have you resubmit. If you resubmit if you get an RFE and you don't respond to the RFE correctly, you're going to get an NOID letter, notice of intent to deny your green card. So here's the process. When you they asked the request for evidence. They didn't send you form I-485. That's the application for the green card. If you didn't include the I-94, you won't get a green card. The I-94 is probably more important in the green card application than the K-1 visa, because you make a copy of the K-1 visa. That's the most important form in the green card application. It's the I-94 for the 2-year green card. You know, I-94 says you came into the United States legally and you were paroled by a Border Patrol officer who gave you permission to come in the country. They asked the request for evidence. So you got an RFE, which is a letter, and they're asking you for your last tax return. That's all. I don't see where did they ask you for your I-94? You didn't include your I-94? You didn't include the 864? You didn't include your last tax return? Whatever's on that RFE, you need to put it, you have to put it and return it to them. Send it to them. Be careful. Don't mess it up. Because if you mess up the RFE, immigration's done with you. They're like, I'm done. They're going to deny the green card. So don't screw it up. Okay? I don't know. I think what the problem is, you've been living in California too long. Okay? You got all that California jazz going on in your head. You can fix this, but make sure you fix it properly. Okay? Don't panic. Don't be in a panic mode. Okay? Just correct the problem as they ask for it, and don't add anything. If you get an RFE because you forgot something and they ask you to include something, is it easy to fix? Harold, did you get a letter from immigration that said request for further evidence? Did they send you a letter? And you opened up the letter from USCIS and it said, Harold A., you are missing your last tax return. We need it. Okay, what does the letter say? Get the letter, go get the letter, and then write in the comments, a little what's in the letter, and I'll help you, and I will fix it for you. I'm going to fix it. Because if you don't fix it properly, then the green card's going to get thrown into the toilet and flushed. So we got to make sure we do this properly, okay, and get it fixed properly. Go get the letter and then tell me what they say in the letter. But if all you need to do is provide your last tax return, okay, make a copy of your tax return, go to Office Depot or whatever, make a copy of your last 1040, call the IRS and get your tax transcript, okay? If that's what they're asking for, that's all you're going to send them. But you're talking about I-94s, 864s. What's all that jazz about? Did you forget the I-94? Did you forget the 864? I mean, the 864 is the affidavit of support. Are they telling you to redo the 864? What are they telling you to do? It's easy to fix. You just got to read the paper, read the letter. Okay? Just read the letter. The K-1 visa process is getting pretty quick now from NOA 1 to NOA 2. Howard A. Based on the documents submitted, we could not determine that the petitioning sponsor on Form I-864 is qualified. Okay, so your 864 is fine. Based on the documents submitted, we could not determine that the petitioning sponsor on the I-864 affidavit is qualified. Okay, so you forgot to include your last tax return, your 1040, and your tax transcript, and your W-2 or W-2s, whatever the case may be. You might have 2 jobs with 2 W-2s. Okay, if that's the case, you got to get all that financial information. Go get it. If you got to get it from the IRS, go ahead and get it. Okay, well, this is easy to fix. Harold, this is easy to fix. The immigration are looking for your last tax return. Make a copy of it. Call the IRS and ask them for your tax transcript. Okay? And get your W-2s or W-2. And then you put it in the order that the immigration officer has told you to do it in the RFE. There's a cover sheet with the RFE that goes on top of the stuff they're asking for, and then overnight it back to them with a letter and apologize. I'm sorry, I forgot to include my tax return. It was an oversight on my part. I got in such a big hurry, I just didn't review my green card application carefully. That's all it is. You got in a big hurry. If you make a cover letter before you mail a green card application, but listen up, ladies and gentlemen, before you mail in your green card application, make a cover letter and then go through the cover letter line by line to make sure you didn't forget anything. What's the first thing that you're going to put on the cover letter? A check, right? For $1,440. What's the second thing? USCIS form G1145. What's the third thing? USCIS form I-485. And then USCIS form 864. And then 693. And then a blown up color copy of the K-1 visa. A blown up color copy of your U.S. citizenship biographic page of your passport and your beneficiary's passport. A copy certified by the courthouse of your marriage certificate. The I-94. The NOA-2 letter. You got to make a copy of the NOA-2 letter for I-797 that shows that your K-1 visa got approved. Pictures of your wedding, pictures of your honeymoon. And then you're going to put in their bank statements, joint bank statements together. This 2-year green card package is easy. You just got to pay attention to details. And then you got to include in there your last 1040 and your tax transcript and your W-2s and pay stubs if you got pay stubs. So what I put into Karina's green card application was my last 1040. I don't get W-2s because I was self-employed. So my 1099s, okay. I printed 12 months worth of bank statements showing the direct deposits, and I got a yellow highlighter, and I sat right at this desk and I highlighted the direct deposits. Immigration couldn't care less about the bird feed I bought at Walmart, but they do want to see the bank the income coming into the bank. They want to see the direct deposits. Get 12 months worth of bank statements. Go through your bank statements. White out the bank account numbers. You don't need to tell immigration what your bank account numbers are, but highlight your direct deposits. If you work for FedEx, or if you work for Uber, or if you work for Chili's, or if you work for JCPenney's, more than likely your pay is coming into your bank via direct deposit. Just highlight it. Make the job of the immigration officer easy. Okay? Don't make it so the immigration officer has to strain his or her eyes looking for your income on your bank statements. This right here is the magic solve the problem yellow highlighter. Okay? So let's put some we're going to put some mega pixie dust on Harold A, because he forgot to include his tax returns. It's a big deal. Immigration want to see how much money you make. There's only one place they can do that. It's on line 9 of your 1040. What's your total taxable income? Now, if you are on disability, let's suppose you get $60,000 a year in VA disability, Social Security disability, or whatever disability, okay, it's tax-free. You got to write a letter of explanation, because you may not even file a tax return. So you don't have a 1040. You don't have a tax transcript. But you do have bank statements showing where your VA disability is going into the bank. If that's the case, my recommendation is to get a joint sponsor. Harold A, is it hard, Diego, to fix? No, it's easy to fix. It's just going to cost you a couple of months of time. Immigration, okay, are looking for your tax return, your W-2, your pay stubs, your bank statements showing your income being direct deposited into your account. That's what they're looking for. You didn't include it. That's why you got to put a cover sheet together and make sure you have it, you check off everything, that you don't forget anything. If you get into, it's an oversight on your part. It was an oversight. You're not the first person to make that mistake, okay? And you're not going to be the last person. But for the folks who are watching this channel and who will watch it in the future and tomorrow and next month, they're going to know they got to include their tax return, their last tax return, the hard copy of it in their green card application. You don't have to go and get a copy of your the last 3 tax returns. You just need the one that you filed last. The last tax return that I filed was with Karina, okay? And that would be the one I would include. It's not hard to do. What the problem is, people forget to do the simple things, the easy stuff, and it adds time to their wait. You don't want to wait any longer than you have to for this green card. But if you forget stuff, immigration, in the goodness of their heart, are giving you a second chance. If you mess it up a second time, more than likely you're going to get a notice of intent to deny. So don't mess it up. So Harold, I explained to you what you got to do. Do you understand what you have to do? You got it? Do you know how to contact the IRS and get your tax transcripts? Do you know how to do that? It's okay, good. There you go. Don't panic, Harold. You're good. It's an oversight. You forgot something. Immigration knows it's an oversight, and they knew you forgot it. So they're giving you an opportunity to remedy it. Okay? Make sure you remedy it correctly the first time. Don't mess it up. Do exactly. Read the letter carefully, and apparently the letter says you forgot your tax return. You can get it. Go get it. That's all you got to do. NOA 1 to NOA 2 is taking about 6 months. NOA 2 to the MVC welcome letter is taking about 2 to 3 months. And then the MVC will mail your approved K-1 visa application off to the embassy, whichever country that is, depending on how busy the embassy is. Okay. The U.S. Embassy in Colombia is busy right now. They're processing K-1 visas, spousal visas, tourist visas for folks from not just Colombia, but from Venezuela and Curacao. Curacao? Is that how you say it? okay, which is a little island north of Venezuela. So when the embassies get busy, they try to process the green cards for the spousal visas, but they try to process the K1 visas and get the interviews scheduled as quickly as they can. But you're going to be under a limited calendar of time. So as soon as you get the NVC welcome letter, the National Visa Center is going to send you a welcome letter. Then what you're going to have to do is wait for the embassy to contact you, whatever embassy that is, and they will send you a packet 3, packet 4 email telling you that they're ready for you, the ready status. But the first thing you're going to see will be in transit. So the NVC, when they mail your package off in a secured courier, it's going to go via DHL in a 747, and the plane could bounce around a few countries with your K1 visa package in it. You know, it could happen. The DHL courier service could be going to 5 countries with 300 K1 visas approved for 5 different countries. Let's take Colombia, for example. The plane would fly from New Hampshire to Bogota, and then it could go to Brazil, then to Quito, Ecuador, then to Panama, Central America, and then back to the United States. And the plane will be delivering the approved K1 visas. Okay. When it's in transit, give it about 2 weeks to get to the embassy of where it's supposed to go. Now, if your NOA-2 letter is getting close to being expired, the way you can extend it is by sending an inquiry to the National Visa Center and say, hey, I'm just checking in. What's the status of my K1 visa? Well, they'll respond back to you, and then you print those emails, and that extends out your NOA-2 letter. Karina's NOA-2 letter expired on September 16th, 2023. So I'm sitting with an expired NOA-2 letter. I hadn't even scheduled the visa interview. So I sent an email, an inquiry to the NVC and checked in with them. And they replied back and said, don't worry, just be patient. It's being processed. I said, okay. And then it was shipped to Bogota, Colombia via courier. And then I emailed the embassy and said, I'm just checking in. And they said, well, we don't have your package yet. We don't have your K1 visa yet. Just give us about another 2 weeks and we'll get it. I said, okay. Those communications with the NVC and with the embassy extended the K1 at the NOA-2 letter. So Karina's NOA-2 letter expired September of 2023, but I maintained contact with the NVC and the embassy. They replied back to me. Okay, they did not. They could see that the green card, the K1 visa wasn't abandoned. It was in. I'm still processing it. And then I finally, in October, I got the packet 3, packet 4 email from the embassy in Bogota. And then I went into that email and followed the directions, scheduled the visa interview, paid the consular fee, submitted the DS-160. Okay. Now there's no charge. When you file a DS-160 on behalf of your beneficiary, you can do it if you want. Karina can't speak English. She had no clue what the DS-160 was. So I filled it out for her, and I said that I helped to do it. And then I signed her name at the bottom electronically. Okay, Karina signed it, but it's her name electronically with her permission. I'm on the phone talking to her in Spanish. How much money do you make at your store? What's the address where you were? And all this. And I put it in the DS-160. I submitted it to the embassy. I paid the consular fee via my credit card. Boom, they took the money right away. And then I had a calendar open up where I could schedule the visa interview, which was November 16th of 2023. So Karina's NOA-2 letter expired September 16th, and I scheduled the visa interview for November 16th. So her NOA-2 letter had been expired for 2 months, but it was no big deal. It was extended up to the visa interview. The secret is maintain contact with immigration. If you get your NOA-2 letter, and then you get your NVC welcome letter, and you don't respond, you don't contact immigration in any way or shape or form, and your NOA-2 letter is expired, and you still haven't made contact with the embassy or with the NVC, the NOA-2 letter is no good anymore. There's a good chance your visa will be closed as abandoned. Okay, so don't make that mistake. Your NOA2 letter will not expire so long as you maintain contact with the immigration folks, whether it's an inquiry to the NBC or an email to the embassy. Okay, you got it? Come on, guys, you can do this. I'm going to give you all a Mountain Dew salute for listening to me. And Harold A., just get your last tax return, your W-2s, your tax transcript, your pay stubs, and your bank statements, and send it to immigration. That will prove your income. Okay? Now, there are new minimal income requirements required to qualify for the K-1 visa and for the green card. There are new income requirements. Okay? Everything's gone up in price, especially if you live in Alaska or Hawaii. Okay? I just made a video on what the new minimum income requirements are to qualify for the K-1 visa and for the green card. If you want to watch it, you're welcome to watch it. Okay? It will tell you how much money you got to make. So if you haven't filed your K-1 visa application yet, it hasn't been sent off yet, watch that video and it will tell you if you qualify for the income. Now, remember this. If the minimum income for a family of two for the green card, for the 2-year green card is X number, add $5,000 to the top of that. Immigration says the minimum income is this. You need to add another $5,000 on top of that to avoid getting a joint sponsor requirement. Okay? Trust me on this. There are colonels in the house. Ted, I can't pronounce your last name, from Greece, the Greek name. Diego, I sent both the I-485, the K-1 and K-2. Received 797C NOA1. What is the average for biometrics? So, okay, so good. Congratulations, Ted. You didn't mess up the paperwork. You submitted an excellent green card application, and you got the 797C. Now you're going to be about 2 weeks, and you'll get a letter for biometrics. Now, Karina, my beautiful wife from Venezuela, Karina had her biometrics in New Orleans. So don't panic if you got to have your biometrics in a city other than the place you live. So we had to make a road trip. We drove from Florida into Alabama, into Mississippi, into Louisiana. We checked into the Holiday Inn in New Orleans, which was a 2-minute walk to immigration, and we got our biometrics done. What is biometrics? It's a photograph of the face, fingerprints, and they want to make you sign your full name. Those are the 3 things. It takes about 5 minutes. Okay, so we had to drive through for 4 states for a 5-minute interview. Okay, but we made a vacation out of it. And you know what? We spent the night in New Orleans. I kept the receipt from the hotel. We kept the receipts from doing stuff in New Orleans. And all that stuff's going to go in her 10-year green card application. I'll treat it as a vacation to New Orleans, which it is. I got the hotel receipt, the garage parking receipt, pictures in New Orleans, okay? And then next month, we're going on vacation somewhere else. I will make probably 3 videos during that vacation, and I'll post them, and I'll put those videos for the members, for our members. Good job, Colonel. And give it about 2 weeks for the biometrics, okay? They'll send you a letter, and they're going to tell you where the biometrics is, the address, the time, okay? The time of the biometrics. So you want to get there about 15 minutes early before the actual appointment time. You're going to go into the building, whatever it is, wherever it is you live. They'll give you directions, and you're going to bring the appointment letter with you. Bring the passport and the marriage certificate with you. Okay? Got to have your passport, the beneficiary's passport, marriage certificate, and the appointment letter for the biometrics. There was somebody that was in New Orleans. They got in behind. We were up in line, and they were behind us. They forgot their appointment letter. They were from Mississippi. The lady said, "You don't have your appointment letter, you ain't coming in the freaking building." So they had to go back home to Mississippi. Although if they were smart, they would call somebody up and have them photograph it on their phone and send it to their phone. You got to have the appointment letter. Okay, guys, I've been talking for an hour almost. If I don't have any more questions. Uh, 1 second, Ted. Sounds good. What is the next after biometrics and approximate timeline for the next step? Okay, well, once you've done the biometrics, then now you're going to be waiting for either the green card to be mailed to your house or for a green card consular interview, either one or the other. With President Trump in office right now, don't be surprised if you have to go to another interview for the green card. Don't worry about it. It's a formality. Bring all the stuff that you submitted on your 2-year green card application to the green card interview if you have to go to an interview. So basically, when the biometrics are done, the green card process goes into action, and then immigration makes a decision on whether to mail you the green card or to schedule a green card interview. That's it. Then, like Karina, she went to her biometrics in New Orleans, and then 3 months later, she had her green card in her hand. And then she went, it's that easy. And then when she got her green card, we went back down to the Social Security office and checked in and said, look, I translated for Karina. We updated her status to legal permanent resident from I-94, K3 I-94 and don't ask me about K3. It's just stuff I know, okay? She got her green card. She took it to the Social Security office, and she updated her status to legal permanent resident. And a week later, she had a new Social Security card in the mail with her married name on it and all that verbiage that said you cannot work without Homeland Security permission. All that verbiage went away. That's it. And it's taken about 9 months. The exact number is 9.3 months right now to get the green card from the date of the biometrics. Francois, Ted, how long was your wait, if it's okay to ask? It was 2 weeks for the 797C. Okay, so what that means is, ladies and gentlemen, when Ted mailed off the green card application using FedEx, UPS, or DHL to immigration, it took them 2 weeks to open the box. So the box sat on a shelf for 2 weeks. They opened it up, and no doubt Ted included Form G1145 in the green card application. They took the G1145. Well, first they took the check and cashed it. Then they took the G1145, and they then created an IOE number and a 797C, and there we are. And with that said, I've been talking for an hour today. I didn't even know what day it is. Monday? Today's Monday. I'll be back Wednesday at 6 p.m. with Karina. And that's it, guys. Another fantastic live stream. And like I keep saying to you guys, if you want my cell phone number, if you want my email address, if you want to contact me personally, sign up as a member. It's $9.99 a month. That's like $119 a year. That's much better, right? If you want personal one-on-one. And if you don't want to do that, that's fine. If you just want to wait till the next live stream for your questions, then don't do that. But if you sign up as a member, you will be able to text me 7 days a week with if you get an emergent problem, if you get an immigration problem that you got to get fixed like today, if you're a member, you can text me. Francois, thank you, Ted, for your answer. And Francois gets the last word, and we'll see you guys Wednesday, 6 p.m.